We'll go straight into questions. Go ahead and start us off, Chris, if you want to.
Yeah, Bobby, I remember last year it seemed like you found something with your offense with Jalen Graham and some of the stuff you were doing there. Is there anything this year that you're kind of seeing as possible, sparks for you?
I think I have, we have plenty of options, which is a good sign. I think we got, Dez and DJ who could, put points on the board from the perimeter, and, Frankie off the bounce, getting to the paint, and certainly, Warren finishing around the basket, and, we're pretty balanced, so we got a lot of guys that, that can contribute, have the potential to score it. We got knocked back on our heels a little bit in the last game. I think Arizona did some things defensively that, athletically they were able to do that maybe some other teams can't do in terms of taking some of the things they took away from us. But we'll learn from that, and if we see certain things that are being done purposely, then we'll have counters for those, moving forward, hopefully.
So, are you surprised that the ball just hasn't gone in the basket more than it has? Has it been, different than what you kind of expected?
I've been in games like that as a player, and I know how it feels, just how much they want it, how badly you want to win. Sometimes you can't relax and make an open shot, and we have guys that have taken them and making them throughout the course of the season have gotten us where we are, and the ball just didn't go in from a distance, and that's the bottom line. I mean, some of them weren't great. I think we were chasing, and your first response is to go for three and not for two, and so I think we could have cleaned up after watching it again a few of the shot attempts and maybe gotten better looks. But I trust the guys. If we didn't shoot the way we did on the practice floor and didn't show in other big games, that we can make the ball from three, then I probably wouldn't let us take as many, and we would do other things. But we were 36 to 24 in the paint, and maybe we could have gotten more opportunities, for Warren inside, and made that more to focus, offensively. So just take it game by game.
And Coach, when you say, you said too, obviously Arizona athletically can do some things defensively that other teams might not be able to do at that level. But having seen what Arizona did, like you always say, once it's put on tape, you're feeling a lot of teams are going to try and copy what they did?
In certain set plays we had, the Arizona was switching out with their four-man and denying our guards from dribble handoff. So, by halftime we had a couple of back cuts, and we realized that cutting without the basketball was going to be valuable if they were going to overplay passing lanes and take away dribble handoff. So we made some strides in the second half with that, and we've worked on more things in practice, assuming if other teams would try and do some of that stuff, with our guards.
Bobby, how do you gauge, or how do you build up the confidence from these last two performances between the shooting and then what happened in San Francisco? Where are your guys at, and how do you rebuild that confidence?
Good question. I feel like we didn't focus on negativity this week. We certainly we all agreed we weren't happy with the loss, and especially to our rival in state. So it's but we got to move on and get ready for this week, and we've kind of tried to turn the page and just work on some things in practice relative to our next two opponents, particularly Washington State, and talk about, hey, we were kind of toe-to-toe in a one-possession game with one of the best teams in the country, and despite not playing our best, I don't think we came close to performing the way we're capable of now, and so that's you can take positives from that, and that's the best that's out there, and we were able to hang in that game the way we were despite not playing well. You could probably take a positive from that.
Does it feel like a longer losing streak than 2 games because of the way it's been spread out and the way the games went?
Yeah, I'm just glad holidays are done, because both of them kind of were ruined in their own way this year, just with both of them coming prior to the big holidays. But yeah, just we want to get back on track. I got a lot of confidence from the practice today. They looked like they did going into the Arizona game, and so I don't think we have any lingering side effects to this game. Like, I was worried about that more, with the San Francisco game coming into Arizona. I think we found something in the second half. Hopefully we can build on it, this week.
Do you think it'll be easier to get in a routine having 2 conference games a week now, like you're used to?
Yeah, it's great. I think we're 2-1. With the teams we played in those 3 games, I mean, it's not bad to be where we are now, and certainly we got a lot of work in front of us. Would love for the students to be here. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case yet. Maybe for Saturday, but I think we got 2 games in front of us at home. You got to try and do the best you can to win home games, and certainly after the last loss, to try and turn the page and get some positive momentum again.
So what are the maybe some of the key areas where you feel like you can squeeze out more potential?
In terms of just overall?
Yeah, overall. Or just the team.
I mean, I just think it's, we've had great moments, and we've done some special things already. It's just continually striving to raise our level of play. I think we were up for the challenge in the second half in our last game and got a lot out of that. But we're just, like a lot of teams are, we're striving to be a good team. So, I think it's important for us to have like good days on the practice floor like today. And, even at this time of year, teams are getting better and teams are getting worse. And, we had some great moments in November and most of December. And now, we gotta, I wouldn't say our backs against the wall, but we gotta, come out firing and make sure we're getting back on track to a winning mentality. And, I think it starts with how you prepare and how you practice, and the guys did a great job of that today.
Is it so? Is it a double-edged sword when you're so good defensively that you're kind of never out of games, but then also maybe you're not as laser focused on some of the things that you might need to be doing early in games?
I mean, there have been some games we've been ahead and some games behind. It's been a bit of a wild ride. I mean, Creighton up 11, then down 10 in the second half, and then find a way to win. Colorado down 15, and come back and win. Stanford up doubles in the first half, give it away, and then win. I mean, so Michigan just was wire to wire. So I mean, we've done it in different ways. Every coach would say they'd love to find a way to get off to a better start and make your opponent chase you. And I think that the way, though, like you said, that we could get stops and multiple stops, it gives us confidence to know that, no matter what the circumstances are, we still, have a good chance.
And when you look at Washington State, obviously not giving away game plan, but what kind of challenges do they present?
They've gotten healthy, and this is the healthiest they've been, and this is the best they've looked, all season, and they've been really competitive. They've just been down guys at different times due to injury, and they are coming off 2 games, 2 confident building games at home. 1 point loss to UCLA and a double-figure win versus USC. So they're playing the best they have all season, and they can really shoot the ball from distance, and that's going to be a priority. Mohamed Gay is one of the best, interior big guys in the conference. I think he had 18 points, 18 rebounds versus UCLA. So, and they're going to come in here, on a win and come in here confidently. So, that's basically the bottom line with Washington State right now.
What would it mean, not to get ahead of yourself, but what would it mean if you could get to like 4-1 or something like that in conference play, just kind of be ahead of the curve almost?
Just, I'm looking at it like just the game in front of us and focusing on that, and not, looking too far ahead beyond that. And that's my major priority. That's what we discussed with the group. And so I'm not really thinking about records. I mean, I think we're solid right now where we are in those 3 games, and that's behind us now, and we just got to keep, moving forward 1 game at a time.
You said as the team's grown, I mean, do you feel, that the chemistry just in general and even your depth, but that they've grown as a group and they're starting to understand each other a lot more on the court?
I mean, I think it's a mindset thing with these guys. They're really, connected as a group, especially defensively, with just with the intensity and the will we're guarding. It's probably as good as I've seen a team guard since I've been here in a stretch of time in our second half of the last game, and they've been pretty consistent about doing it. I think we gotta, we'll be tested on tomorrow night with guarding the 3-point line because of how good Washington State does of moving the ball, and they have good size and they can shoot it. So, and that's not something that we've been great at the last 2 weeks. So, our interior defense, our activity, our energy has been good. We gotta make sure our closeouts are on point, and you know, we're not losing containment of the ball where they could hit the paint and get us in rotation where we're giving up open shots. So I think there are things we got to improve on defensively, and that's going to be a priority tomorrow night.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys.